It started like any other night. Friday, 9:12 p.m. Jason Harris had been driving for 6 hours already. He was tired, his playlist had looped twice, and he was just about ready to call it. But then, one last ride popped up on his phone. Downtown pickup, 1-star rider rating. Weird. Most drivers avoided those, but Jason, he didn't scare easy. He tapped accept. The name, just a single letter. Z. No photo, no info, just Z. And a pickup location right outside a closed bookstore on 8th and Laurel. Jason pulled up 5 minutes later. The street was empty, no lights, just an alley, a flickering lamp, and the soft sound of wind through trash. He unlocked the doors, waited. 30 seconds passed. Then the back door opened, but he didn't hear it. No footsteps, no slam, just the faint creak of leather as someone slid into the seat. Jason glanced in the rear view. No one there. He blinked, turned around. Nothing but empty leather. Cold air drifted from the seat, the smell of old cologne. He turned back to the road, heart pounding, and then his phone buzzed. A message from the rider. Just 2 words. Keep driving. Jason hesitated. He typed back, "You in the car?" Another buzz. Yes. He looked again, still empty. "Where to?" he typed. The reply, "I'll tell you." Jason put the car in drive. The street stretched out like a tunnel. As he rolled forward, the radio glitched. White noise hissed from the speakers. The GPS shut off. The signal bar vanished. Then the car's interior lights dimmed on their own. Jason tried to stay calm. He thought maybe it was a prank, someone playing with a remote, but the next message froze his hands on the wheel. "Thank you for picking me up. I never got to finish my last ride." Jason's mouth went dry. He didn't reply. The next message came instantly. "I died in the back seat." Jason slammed the brakes. The car screeched to a stop in the middle of an intersection. He twisted around, and this time there was something there. A shape. Faint, flickering, as if the back seat was underwater and something was moving beneath the surface. A face, half seen, smiling. Jason looked back at his phone. It had powered off, the screen black. Then from the car speakers a voice, not loud, not sharp, just sad. "I never made it home." Jason's hands shook on the wheel. He didn't speak, he didn't move. He just sat there, frozen, as the air inside the car turned thick and cold. The kind of cold that doesn't just touch your skin, it sinks into your bones. The voice came again, softer this time, drifting through the vents, the speakers, maybe even the walls. "Please, just drive." So he did. No GPS, no directions, no destination, just mile after mile of empty streets. The city, usually alive, a wet spot. Dark. Shaped like a head. Like someone had been sitting there. Bleeding. His stomach turned. The scent of metal crept into his nose. Iron. Copper. Blood. Then another message buzzed in. The phone was still off. The screen didn't light up, but the message came through anyway. "Almost there." Jason didn't know where there was. He didn't care. He just wanted the ride to end. But the street ahead, it had changed. The buildings were unfamiliar, the traffic signs unreadable, letters twisted, language distorted. This wasn't the city anymore. He tried to slow down, but the pedal resisted. He hit the brakes. Nothing. The car kept rolling, faster, deeper, and then the voice whispered again. "I was just trying to get home. He didn't mean to." Jason's jaw clenched. He couldn't take it anymore. "Who?" he shouted into the mirror. "Who didn't mean to?" The car went dead silent. No voice, no buzz, just the rumble of tires over gravel. Then, a shape on the road ahead, small, still, curled into a ball. A child. Jason swerved, heart slamming into his chest. He jerked the wheel, tires screaming, and the car skidded sideways. When he stopped, the road was empty again. Nothing there. But something had changed. The mirror, it was cracked, and in the cracks, a reflection that wasn't his. Jason's breath caught. The reflection staring back at him was wearing his shirt, sitting in his seat, but it wasn't him. The eyes were too dark, the smile too wide, and it was smiling directly at him. He blinked, and it vanished. Gone, like fog off glass. But now the air smelled burnt, like rubber, like something dead. Another message buzzed, even though the phone still appeared dead. "I didn't mean to get in the wrong car." Jason gripped the wheel tighter, his knuckles white, his voice trembled. "What do you want from me?" Silence. Then a soft whisper from the back seat, close, right behind his ear. "I want to go back." Jason spun. No one. Just the imprint again, deeper this time, pressed into the seat like someone had been there for hours, days, maybe longer. And that's when the lights appeared in the distance. A house, faint porch light flickering. No other buildings, just one home, alone on the edge of nowhere. The kind of place that doesn't show up on maps. The kind of place you don't remember until you've already passed it. The car pulled in by itself. Jason didn't touch the wheel. The headlights cut through the fog, revealing a figure standing at the door. A woman, middle-aged, shaking, crying, and holding "My son died in that back seat 3 years ago." Jason's body went numb, his mouth dry. What? But the woman didn't answer. She backed away, slowly, then ran inside, slammed the door. And just like that, the porch light went out. Total darkness. Jason sat frozen. The engine hummed, but the rest of the world felt still. Dead still. He stared at the house, waiting for the light to come back on. Nothing. He turned the headlights to high beam. Still nothing. The house was gone. No door, no windows. Just black trees and fog curling around the driveway like fingers. Then, the back door opened. Jason spun around. This time, someone was sitting there, clear, visible. Pale face, blood dried on his temple, brown hoodie, blank stare. The same boy from the photo. Jason's lips parted, but no sound came out. He couldn't breathe, couldn't blink. The boy looked up and whispered, "I was texting her when it happened." Jason's voice cracked. "Texting who?" The boy stared straight ahead. "My mom. I told her I'd be home soon, but I got the wrong driver. I was tired. I didn't check. I just got in." Jason's heart was pounding so loud he could barely hear anything else. "He wasn't my ride," the boy continued. "He didn't say a word. We passed my street. I told him to stop. He just kept going." Jason gripped the wheel. What happened? The boy leaned forward, his voice just above a whisper. "He drove to this road. Right here. He pulled over and smiled. Then he asked me one question." Jason turned, barely able to speak. What did he ask? The boy's eyes locked with his in the rearview mirror. He said, "Would you drive it next?" And before Jason could speak, before he could even react, the boy was gone. Just vanished. No sound, no door opening, no breeze. Just empty air. And the phone buzzed. One final message. "Thank you for taking over." Jason looked down. His hands were gone. His reflection in the mirror wasn't his anymore. Jason's breath caught in his throat. His hands, pale, thin, trembling, were no longer his own. The skin looked younger, the hoodie sleeves frayed. The steering wheel felt wrong beneath his grip, like he was touching it through someone else's fingers. The mirror showed him sitting in the back seat now, Same face, same eyes, trapped, watching himself from behind. No, this isn't real. He tried to scream, but no sound came out, just silence. His mouth moved, but no voice. On the dashboard, the radio flicked back on. Soft static. Then a familiar voice. And in the back seat, another figure appeared. Pale, thin, shivering. A new face. Scared, confused. Just like he had been. The radio whispered again. "Your shift's over. Let him take a turn." Jason screamed, but no one heard. The car rolled into darkness. A distant porch light blinked once, then vanished. And in the rearview mirror, the cycle began again. The road never ended. The car glided forward, smooth as glass. Jason sat frozen in the back seat, watching the driver in his skin smile into the night. Ahead, another figure stood at the edge of the highway. A girl, backpack, hoodie, shivering in the wind. The car slowed. Not because Jason willed it, but because the thing driving him had decided. The girl stepped toward the car, hesitant. She tapped on the window. "Hey, did you call for Ella?" Jason tried to scream, tried to slam the lock button. Nothing moved. His body wouldn't listen to him anymore. The door opened on its own. Ella slid into the passenger seat. She sighed, tired. "Rough night. You're my last ride." Jason watched her settle in. She buckled her seatbelt, checked her phone, never looked back, never saw him. But Jason saw everything. She had a scar on her wrist, faint, old, a hospital bracelet poking from her sleeve. Her phone buzzed. She typed something, paused, typed again. Jason watched the text bubble. It said, "He's not talking, feels off." Then, "Don't worry, only 20 minutes." The driver smiled wider. The radio crackled. Jason leaned forward, trying to speak, anything, but his lips wouldn't move. The driver's hands tapped the wheel. The voice in the radio returned. Jason's voice. "Welcome, Ella." She looked confused. "Did you say something?" The driver shook his head. "No." Jason screamed, inside his own skull. And that's when he noticed it. Something under the seat. A receipt. Old, worn, yellowed from time. On it, a name. Not his, not Ella's. A name from the article he'd read weeks ago. A missing person, Uber driver. Vanished on Halloween night. The photo in the article, it was the boy in the Jason. The one in the hoodie. The one Jason had replaced. This wasn't new. This had happened before. Many times. Jason turned his head. Outside the car now, he saw faces. Just flashes, in the dark. Some watching, some crying, some pounding invisible glass. All passengers, trapped. Voices in the wind. "Help me! I was first. Don't let her in!" But it was too late. The ride had started. Ella shifted in her seat. The silence in the car was thick. Too thick. Her eyes fixed. She glanced at her phone again. The signal was gone. Of course it was. She held it up to the window, tapped the screen. Nothing. Jason saw her frown. For a moment, just a second, her gaze landed on the rear-view mirror again. This time she froze. Her mouth opened slowly, her eyes widened. She was looking at him, not at the driver. Him. Her face went pale. She unbuckled. I need to get out. This isn't... The locks clicked, hard. The door handles flattened into the frame. The windows dimmed. The car was no longer a car. It was a vessel, a cage, a system. And now she was part of it. Jason saw tears well in her eyes. "I want to go home," she whispered. The driver looked at her. "You are." He took a turn off the road, onto gravel, a path no GPS would ever show. Trees lined the sides, their branches twisted like arms, reaching down. A tunnel of black limbs. Ahead, a light, faint, red, pulsing. Jason felt it deep in his chest, like a drumbeat, like a heartbeat, not his. The car rolled to a stop, the light flashed once, and Ella began to scream. But no sound came out. Her mouth moved, her body thrashed, but the car absorbed it, the sound, the motion, the fear, like it fed on it. Jason tried to close his eyes, but couldn't. He was made to watch, to witness, just like all the others. The driver turned to Ella. "You'll be comfortable soon. It only hurts the first few minutes." Jason felt something tear. Not physically, deeper. A part of him breaking loose. And then, Ella was gone. Just gone. Jason was alone again, but not really. Another name slid across the radio display. David H. Tannell. Jason screamed into the void of his own mind. "Let me out! Let me out!" But the car just turned. The wheels spun, the lights blinked, and the road appeared once more. New. Endless. Waiting. The shift never ends. The ride never stops. And the driver is always you.